left him no platforms to explain it. He frustrated, so he get faded. Like deep down inside.
It's your boy Ace Billions with the Billionaire Mafia Podcast, where we shine the light on entrepreneurs and investors. Today we got an incredible entrepreneur here that not only is a realtor, but also she's into the mindset, she's into the spiritual, and she can connect it all. Tell them about yourself, Jaymi. Introduce yourself.
Well, thank you, Ace. That's a beautiful introduction. I appreciate you very much. Happy to be here today. I'm Jaymi Westra. I'm a real estate agent here in Las Vegas. And I'm also a sound therapist, so certified biofield tuner. And like you said, I'm very into mindset, prosperity mindset, law of attraction thinking, manifestation, meditation. It's all in my daily practice. So that's a little bit about me.
So how did you get into real estate? How did that come about?
Okay, real estate. I was one of those kids that I just knew immediately like what I would kind of do from a young age. I first started just like having a passion for real estate. My mom and I, when I was younger, she would like have me go to the model homes and like stick my hand into like the doorknobs that weren't like closed up yet to like get into the homes to look at them. And so it was just like this fun thing, like looking at homes when I was younger. So I just kind of knew, okay, this is like what I want to do. I love houses. I love the architecture of it. I love helping people. I love the business behind it. I love the negotiation. So everything real estate I love. And I just honestly started when I was young and I had this vision of myself, and real estate was always that thing that I knew would be my career.
All right. So how do you feel about manifestation and visualization? Is that something that you practice daily, or?
Yeah, 100%. I practice it daily. Now I've like really honed into my practice. Like I started manifesting or understanding the law of attraction like super young too. I found the book The Secret when I was like, you've read it? Yeah, it's super good. It's very easy to understand. But I found it when I was like 9.
Okay,
so,
wow, that's young.
Yeah.
You got to it fast.
I got to it fast. And I don't think I really understood what it was like fully about at that time, but I like grasped onto the concept and it really resonated with me. And I feel like I've always been someone who's manifested really quickly. So I've kind of just tapped into that side of myself. Like I said, since I was young, I always had this clear vision of like, who am I going to be? But lately, like the past few years, 2020 is when I started meditating. And when I started meditating, I really, really understood like the law of vibration, frequencies, how this all interjects into our manifestations, and how it all has a play into what our life is turning out like, and the life that we experience. So I started pretty young too, and it was more of just something like that I was fascinated by and I kind of understood through my life experience. But because there wasn't as much science behind it at the time when I was like experiencing these things, I couldn't really like grasp onto it the way that I have in like the last few years of my life.
Was there a pinnacle moment where that kind of just came to you, or was it someone that inspired you to go that route, or like adopt that mindset?
Like what mindset?
The mindset of just
what mindset?
Your mindset, the one that's in tune and want to know more about.
No, I've always been like
the
this.
frequency.
I've always, like, since I was a young girl, I don't know how to explain it. Like, I was someone who was kind of bullied when I was in high school, middle school. I always felt like connected to, like, could feel people's energies very easily. I also had a very clear vision of like what I thought my life would be like when I was younger. And I don't think there was like a pinnacle moment. I think with my accelerated understanding of, the whole modality of meditation and my mindset being as strong as it is in what I do today is, life experience. Like I would manifest things pretty quickly, just naturally, like not really thinking about it, but just like naturally feeling a high state of vibration of feeling, and having very clear goals, that kind of naturally aligns you to manifest. But if you're not working continuously on a lot of the things that are programmed naturally inside of us, you can run into problems with your manifestations. I don't think that's talked about as much, as frequently as it should be, because people can manifest really easily, but people aren't necessarily doing the work to really align fully with their manifestations. And I feel like a lot of people might be able to relate to this. Like, they can manifest something, but it kind of self-sabotage, or you lose it, or there's like some sort of like crumbling of it. Right. And it kind of just like puts you back into this this pattern or belief system that you have.
What's some of the daily practices that you have?
Oh gosh, I'm crazy with my practices.
Tell us about it.
Because I believe this is a cheat code to life. Okay, I've noticed exponential growth in my life since I've committed to my practice, which I'm going to share with you guys in a second. So, but it's literally, because you'll have to buy into my program to get that.
Hey, I like it. Yeah. Businesswoman first. Huh?
But I meditate. So what I do is, because I understand my personality. Right. I'm a Sagittarius. I also don't like to be like told what to do, even from my own self. So I play on my own personality. So I give myself loose guidelines. If they're loose guidelines, I will wind up fulfilling them.
Okay, no, that makes sense. Yeah.
If I'm like, you have to do this, I will crash and burn. So I give myself
that disappointment comes and it
I can't fulfill
energy.
it. I also have like a very fluid life. Like I'm in the flow, so I like to give myself that grace. So I meditate, like literally I meditate 3 to 4 times a day.
Wow.
Yeah. My mornings start with reprogramming my subconscious. Like I do a meditation that also helps reprogram your subconscious mind. It's like a biohacking method. I do that every morning, and usually I don't get like the kick I need from it in the morning, but I do it to, like feel like I'm getting settled in.
It's a certain discipline, huh?
It's a thing, Yeah. So I do that, but you wind up feeling so good from it still that you're like, okay, well, why don't I just do it again if I have another 10 minutes, So I'll start my day after that, and then I usually do like a couple more meditations in the afternoon, because I see, literally when I do a meditation or like a reprogramming of my subconscious mind, no joke, I will have text like literally right after of like, hey, like any like business opportunity, sales will go through, friends that I was thinking about will reach out to me. Like something will always happen, like always. So
it's working.
Yeah, it's a cheat code. So, I meditate. Like I give myself once a day. Okay. But I wind up, to be honest, I do much more than that, because it's so beneficial. And then I will loosely put in affirmations too. So I don't hold myself to like, oh, I have to like script this many times a day. I have to tell myself this many affirmations. For me, my bulk is like the meditation and then sound therapy. Those are like my 2 that really, really change my life every single day and like keep everything balanced.
Would you recommend a certain statement or I am statement when you're doing affirmations, or you kind of just go with the flow and whatever you feel like empowers you?
So with the I am statements, I try to find ones that create a reaction in my body.
Okay.
Because when you are saying a statement over and over again, what you want to happen is it to actually reprogram yourself. And it first starts with the mind, and then it goes to the body, because our body actually absorbs everything that our subconscious mind has. It's called body keeps score. Wow. So you can first program your mind, but then it will move to the body. So I will try to find something where I can feel I have resistance to. So I can feel that because I do this work so often that I'm very in tune with like things like that kind of come up. So I might feel heat inside my body for instance. Like, say I'm saying a statement, like, oh, here, I have two that I'm doing right now. So I am a money magnet. That's super easy for me to say. The second one that I've been working on a little bit more is money and business opportunities flow effortlessly and easily to me. So when I say that one, I can naturally feel some sort of twinge inside my body. The second one.
It's crazy that you could be aware of those feelings, because some people just say them and try to like force themselves to believe something where it doesn't even feel natural to them or feel authentic to them. And I guess that's like a trend right now, is just like say affirmations, be it meditation, but not really knowing what that means or what you're supposed to be looking for when you're doing this.
Yeah, that's a really great point. And that's why a lot of people need like a coach to kind of help them see these things. Because like you said, a lot of people feel that. But what you want to really search for are those moments of blockages, because really getting to where you want in life and creating the reality you want is understanding what blocks you have that are like getting in the way of your manifestations. And they're pretty easy to remove. I mean, they're not fun to look at, you know, but once you do identify it, you just go through like a little process of sleeping for a few days and maybe crying, you know?
Just let it all out.
But then your business opportunities and money flows easily to you. So it's really just like a process. And that's why it's really awesome to work with a coach or someone who's, you know, an expert in this field.
Give me one of your favorite statements that you would say to affirm or manifest.
Well, I think I think affirming it in the now and present. So, and this is so now and thank you at the end of what you say. So if you're like writing out a statement, okay, something longer of that you want to have more of what your life to be like, you can say, I accept this now and thank you. So it is so. Whatever you are saying, you are accepting and telling your subconscious mind, like, it is so. So that's a little fun thing that you can add in that will just make it exponentially go a little bit quicker. But it is a process. People need to understand that you should commit to this stuff. It's not, you should see results pretty quickly, like, but you need to continue to work on it every single day, truly.
Do you feel like with these practices, a person can get past a lot of trauma, childhood trauma?
Absolutely. And the thing is, too, is like we're not aware of half the trauma we go through.
Right, 100%.
So our brain literally from the age of 7 is like a sponge. It's in theta brainwave. So everything that it's experiencing, it's getting absorbed into like this computer system, our brain, okay? And it's operating. And from that point of operations, that's like your main operation system, that's how you're living out the rest of your life. And we're not even aware of how that operation system is really programmed. And so what's really, really great about sound therapy, biofield tuning, meditation, it allows you to unprogram your brain and actually put it to what you want it to be and what your true identity is and what you're truly aligned for. It gives you so much freedom. I think people are so scared to look at the trauma. And to be honest, not everybody is equipped and has the right tools to look at that trauma and that moment, and that's okay. But if you do the work, your higher self, God, whatever you believe in, the divine will eventually show you that, and you can look at it and release it. And there's so much freedom and prosperity, abundance, love. Everything is on the other side, everything that you could want.
How long does it usually take for someone that's resistant? Because I know a lot of people are resistant to even looking at their past or the trauma that happens in their life.
Everybody's journey is so different. Like for mine, like I didn't even know like how, like I got some crazy information after I had done so much, like 2 advanced meditation retreats with Joe Dispenza, breathworks things.
Love Joe Dispenza.
He's so good. He's taught me so much. Highly recommend anybody to just look him up, explore his books. They are so amazing. Breaking the Habit of Being Yourself is a fabulous book just to get into if you're curious about this stuff. But I haven't even, I didn't get access to like a lot of my own memories until honestly, like up until 7 months ago. And I was so grateful. So it's always hard to like receive information
Right.
or memories. Like it's like an identity death that you didn't even know could exist. But it's so much gratitude in those moments because you're like, thank you for, you know, believing in me that I can handle this and for showing me this and allowing me to release this. And once you release
Gratitude.
you release it, it's like you don't even think about it anymore, to be honest. Like now, like the past is done, but it does leave an energetic code. So as long as you don't ever look at it, then that energetic code is going to live in there unless you're doing other modalities like sound therapy and things like that can naturally release that. But eventually, sometimes you do have to look at it and release it. And then you have like your frequency, your baseline frequency goes up, it's released, multiple timelines are healed. You are just being the best, most aligned version of yourself. Right. Yeah.
So tell me a little bit more about the biofield tuning that you do and the frequency work that you work.
Yeah, it's incredible. So you're familiar with Dr. Joe Dispenza.
Yeah.
So I got into biofield tuning. I had done breath work before, yoga, some light meditation, but biofield tuning is like what changed my life drastically. And why I loved it so much is because if you're kind of aware of this space, but like you said, not everybody wants to dive into their trauma or even knows to the extent of the trauma. So I actually got into biofield tuning. I went for nutrition. I was like, maybe I need supplements. I was to the point of like, I need to do something. And my doctor was telling me about energetic codes and like how my organs could possibly be reflecting some emotional frequencies that have been in my field and creating sickness and fatigue and stuff. So I was like, you know what? Count me in. Let me try. And honestly, after a few sessions, it was just like crazy exponential growth for me. And then I went on an advanced meditation retreat with Dr. Joe Dispenza. But biofield tuning is incredible because unlike just regular sound therapy, which is with the singing bowls and it's very peaceful, I absolutely still love that. But with biofield tuning, you're doing incredible work around someone's electromagnetic field and doing like work that would take normally years to break through.
How does it usually work, and then what is biofield tuning?
So the sessions are like about an hour usually, and I do remote sessions, and all the ones I received were remote because frequencies, you don't actually have to be right next to each other. So remote sessions are my favorite to receive and to give. And pretty much the human body is like a battery. So we have a positive charge on top and a negative charge below, and that creates an electromagnetic field that can be actually measured by science. So there's a bunch of books in this. I know it sounds kind of woo-woo, but it's not. There's actually a lot of data on it. Right. And so that field can be measured. So with biofield tuning, what we do in the practice is we first stabilize the positive and negative charge on someone's electromagnetic field, which does immense work because you're strengthening the outer field of that person and their electromagnetic field and increasing the baseline frequency naturally every time that we do that. And then I do deeper work inside the chakras too. So that will depend and be super different per person, per session. Like I said, the sessions are about an hour. I also tune organs as well. So like for people who have thyroid problems or fertility problems, adrenal problems, every single cell in our body has an electromagnetic field.
Does it work for gut health? Does it work for gut health? Because I know a lot of men have gut. Yeah. We always go through that process of the colon cancers, and it's just so much with gut when it comes to men. Yeah. Does it work with that as
Absolutely.
Well? Okay.
And so why people, I'm not saying all sickness is like this, but a lot of sickness is frequency based. And so Joe Dispenza talks about this as well. And you can do this through meditation, but you can also do it much quicker, faster and just kind of receive with biofield tuning. And this might be a little sciencey, so forgive me. So what happens is frequency is traveling so incredibly fast, and as it gets broken down, like wavelength by wavelength, the smallest wavelength is physical matter. So what we're seeing right now, like our cells, my clothes, this is all the smallest wavelength broken down. So as you go up to different frequencies, that would have an effect on how that translates back into the smallest wavelength. Does that kind of make sense?
Yes, that does.
Okay. So if you get that, which great job, because it's easier with a diagram.
Break it down.
So,
you want to simplify it for the people?
Exactly. So when there's like a negative frequency that's happening from trauma, this can be inherited from your own life, that frequency and wavelength will have an effect on physical matter because of the frequency. It's not at optimal level. And that can create sickness, problems, hormone problems, honestly, you name it. So when you work backwards, instead of working on the actual problem that we see here, but you're like, okay, I actually want to work on a frequency base. So if we change that frequency that is being emitted out into the electromagnetic field and make that energy coherent and sit with it until it equalizes, and this can be done through multiple sessions. It can be done, it doesn't have like a certain timeline for when it really has really great results, but people should see results pretty soon. And when you work with that, then that frequency becomes coherent and goes back into the body and actually has a much more quick result on the physical problem that people are experiencing. So you can fix most problems through energy. And it's kind of an interesting concept, but once you see the benefits and the results and you literally see it happen in front of your eyes, then it makes so much sense.
And not a lot of people talk about this type of holistic health.
They should.
They try to keep it away because they want us on medicines. Yeah. They want us on the pharmaceutical companies are huge. So, just bringing that to the people and being able to kind of expose the holistic health and the natural healing that you could do just by changing your frequency, just by changing your vibration is huge. Like that's big. Yeah.
Well, every cell radiates. So, right, every single cell in our body radiates at a certain frequency. So and that's the thing too, which is so great about biofield tuning, is the frequency is going back into the body and producing results on a cellular level. And like I said, with manifestation and meditation, people are creating high frequencies around them in an electromagnetic way. So like outside of their body. But when your body is not healed, those cells are still vibrating at a different frequency. So your body might not be energetically up to where you are meditating to or bringing about yourself like around people. So you might feel high vibe, but your body, because it hasn't actually healed itself through these frequencies and through intentional work, can create, a problem
So you're like an energy personal trainer.
I think I asked you a question. So are you familiar with any of this work? What have you done? Like, have you tapped in this field at all?
I've tapped into life coaching a lot. Yeah. A lot more mindset, psychology. Not so much as the frequencies. I mean, I meditate and I'm deep into affirmations, and I truly believe that we are made of energy, and we are able to control our externals by going in and channeling the inside frequency. So I mean, I've done it unintentionally. So that's not great. Too much of the studying. I mean, I read a lot of books like from Deepak Chopra. I love Dispenza. I love like the whole business or the whole movement of being able to kind of like channel it yourself versus
100%. Yeah. Well, the deeper you get into it, you realize that there's room for literally everybody. Yeah. Like, that's the beautiful thing about this, is one person being high vibrational on like every aspect of themselves. It just inspires other people to do the same. Yeah. And it has no negative influence. Like, there's more than enough to go around. And that's the whole point, is like you're so connected and you just feel incredible.
Right. How do you intertwine that with your real estate, with your business?
So I was kind of worried. I'm like, you know, because I've done real estate, I've advertised myself with real estate longer. So I was like, how am I going to do this? Because I have an Instagram and, you know, it's kind of public. And so I was thinking, like, I don't want people to just think I'm not passionate about something else still. So, but I've just kind of channeled it innately. And it's actually been incredibly positive for me, because it actually becomes my niche. Because I focus so much on my energy and my frequencies, I feel like people are attracted to work with me for real estate, because it is such an intimate process. And they kind of come to me for that reason, because they know, like, hey, she really cares about this stuff. And when people are choosing to work with someone in real estate, a lot of times you want to work with someone who has a similar mindset, or you feel like you can trust them. And so with me, since it is kind of like a holistic healing, it's like kind of an upsell, in my opinion, for working with me with real estate, because not many agents put this much time into their energy, and it translates into everything. Like, even if my clients are stressed or dealing into problems and they bring that to me, it just kind of, instead of like me feeling the chaos as like a lot of agents do, they're like stressed and they'll still hold a space for their clients. But when it comes to me, it kind of just neutralizes.
Yeah.
So it's pretty cool to see. And I've actually tried experimenting with, like, when I have open houses at my listings, like doing some frequency work, like, and I don't do it in front of the people, but I will bring my tuning forks, my biofield tuning equipment, and do the frequencies, and like, I like to see if it has an impact on the result of the open house.
And has it?
Yes,
yeah.
It has. It's crazy. I mean, it's not surprising, right? Because, you know, everything can be what comes into your life on a daily basis, on a, you know, every second of the day, is attracted to your frequency. So we're just seeing
I really believe that.
some sort of version of ourselves at the end of the day.
Yeah. That's big. That's when we go back to speaking on, like, have I ever practiced it? I think, like, Think and Grow Rich has been one of those things that inspired me.
I started reading that book.
I love that book.
It's incredible.
The Secret was good. What The Power, like, they whole
so many people talk
good.
about this stuff. And so, you know what's crazy? So many celebrities.
Yeah.
So many celebrities do this. And those are just people that we're seeing in the spotlight talking about this stuff. But a lot of business people too. Like, you can be logical and also be an insanely good meditator. Like, you can go and put that time into connecting with your God or your higher self, but then also come back, ground yourself, and go freaking close some deals.
I feel like the most powerful, influential people in the world that have made it to that point had some type of spiritual connection or some type of manifestation practice or meditation. Like, from Ray Dalio, some of the biggest investors, they practice this. They get up in the morning, they do their meditation. They believe that they can attract what they want, what they think about.
I'm with, like, the best brokerage ever, the agency in Las Vegas.
Okay,
I love it.
Put your brokerage on. I like it.
Why I chose them too? Well, one, I completely attracted it into my life, but two, the reason I decided to work with them, they have a whole meditation room. So the owner, Mauricio, of the agency openly talks about how much he meditates a day. So a lot of people in business are utilizing this tool, but they don't talk about it as much because they're either not in the spotlight, they're more low key about it. But yeah, a lot of successful people do it. Now, you might not aspire to be a celebrity. You might aspire to be like a CEO or, you know, own your own company. But that doesn't mean that they're not still doing the same things. One's just maybe talking about it more than the other.
Right.
So.
Yeah. I mean, it's definitely a whole community of people that really truly go through that process and believe it. And
It's life-changing.
And seeing the facts and seeing the proof.
The proof is absolutely there. If people commit to it, just watch what happens. But you gotta put the work in.
I'm impressed. I want to know, like, how can the audience, or how can I get deeper? Yeah,
come on, Ace. We know you just he wants a session at the end of this.
Yeah. No, but I want to know, like, how can I get deeper into it or do more research? Is there books that you read besides The Secret? Is there something like a person could go a little bit deeper and study to learn
100%. And this is something I'm actually actively trying to work on, is finding out what people need to get to the level that I'm at, because now that I'm here, it's hard to go back and remember. So any suggestions that you want to know, let me know as well. But I do have some recommendations that I suggest. Is start with a meditation practice, and everybody will say, I can't meditate. If you don't say I can't meditate when you haven't tried it, or you have tried it, then you're just a Buddha or something. But every single person says that.
No, the mind is a muscle, and
it is.
So is the spirit.
100%.
Everything is. It takes practice. It takes constant practice. It's just get your reps in. And
that's the perfect metaphor I was going to use. It is exactly like going to the gym. So every single person that starts with meditation, you're going to have a million thoughts in your head, and you're going to think, I can't do this. I'm like aggravated. I need to go do this. I can't stop thinking. That is so normal. So the main thing would be to understand that everybody is like you. And that's the basic starting point that anybody will start at. But continue to do it. So at least get the skill set of where you can have the muscle strong enough to where you can identify a thought, identify it, and then be able to let it go. And then you get that moment of clarity. And as long as you can do that, that is like your mountains ahead. And then 2, I definitely recommend any of Joe Dispenza's books. Like I said, Breaking the Habit of Being Yourself, The Power of Now. It depends what kind of personality you have.
And we could drop some links for the books too. So
we'll drop some links. I also have a free sound therapy session that we could drop too. And if anybody wants to feel the effects, you're welcome to try it out. Or doing something like investing in sound therapy, and it'll naturally get you to the point where you can clear those thoughts a little bit quicker, and you're going to see the results without having to do like the affirmations, without having to do the meditation. It's like a exponentially faster way to get breakthroughs and clear stuff out, so that way you can start a really good practice. But if you're a complete beginner, literally get the Headspace app, do the basic meditation, just learn and get the
5 to 10 minutes. Can we start like that? We got to start with an hour, or 5 to 10 minutes, or
5 to 10 minutes. Just practice, get the whole flow going. And then once you feel it, it's going to be such a good feeling. You're going to be like, oh, that was it. You're going to feel it. And then I promise you, the more you do it, you might have emotions come up, and that's like a good thing.
What do you think about astral projection?
You want to get that crazy?
Yeah, I want to get that crazy. Let's talk about astral projection, people. Out of body experiences.
Yes. I haven't done like plant medicine. Okay, so I'm a very like I used to be like a control freak with myself. So I like to be in control of everything. That used to be how I am. Now I'm not like that anymore. Now I fully just give up and trust.
I'm still like that sometimes. I can't help it. A control freak. I try to break it, but sometimes I gotta just let it go. You get the best
results. Like, it is so scary, but when you fully give up control, you get all the results you want. It's wild. It's like this weird thing. It's like, do the opposite of what you think, and you get the results you want. So the more you do something over and over and see a result you want, the more you trust in the process.
Don't force it, attract it. I like it.
But astral projection, all of that is like absolutely real. It's different frequencies. So when you can really relax your body, and you can just kind of tap into your subconscious mind and raise your level of conscious awareness and get into your higher consciousness, that's when all that stuff happens. And it just hitting a certain frequency. So like I said, there's all these different frequencies going on all at once, and that's what we experience, and that's the interactions we get, and that's the emotions we feel. Emotions are the number one cause of frequencies. So also disclaimer, I do want to say this. Having negative emotions is totally normal. We're human. No one is 100% like in a euphoric stage. Okay, you can be euphoric 99% of the time, but we all experience human emotions. It's just our ability to identify them, sit with them, and release it and let it go. But that will lower your vibration, and that's fine, you know?
Yeah.
But emotions are what show us the frequency level. So higher vibrations will vibrate much faster at a higher speed. And with astral projection, that's really when your body is completely falling asleep. Your mind goes into theta mode, and it's like super, super relaxed. Right before you fall asleep, that stage where your body, you can't even feel it. It's almost like numb. And people get really scared about this. People will call it sleep paralysis. I actually had it happen a couple of times to me, and I was terrified. This was before I understood everything. I was so scared. But it's nothing to be scared of. If anybody gets in that sleep paralysis mode, I invite you, instead of like feeling fear for the unknown, because it's an unknown feeling which can cause fear, just realize the unknown is a magical, magical, magical place, and maybe the most beautiful thing will happen to you in that moment. So don't think fear. Instead, connect to your heart. So connect to your heart. Think about things you love. Say thank you, thank you, thank you. Instead of being like, oh my God, something's trying to take me. That's frantic. Just your mind. Instead, know that your frequency now is going to be the biggest impact on what you experience. And if you can channel a positive emotion, something incredible like astral projection could happen for you. I haven't personally astral project. I have, this is going to sound crazy, and 100% sober too, by the way. I've never done any of this stuff like with plant medicine, like everything I do through meditation. I have like went to a different dimension though. And that was really
naturally just off.
It was the unknown. So it definitely like freaked me out for a second, but it was really cool. And like in the last Joe Dispenza retreats, that was something I practiced because I'm someone who can naturally feel frequency super easily. It's kind of like a gift. I'm very kinesthetic. So I can feel frequency. And that's something that Joe will teach you in his advanced retreats, is how to connect to like different dimensions or timelines. And I wasn't having the results I wanted, but I was so close. And but what he taught me was amazing. And when I went home is when I experienced it. And what it was like for me was when you're in a meditative state and you feel like the different frequencies coming, you're in a very receptive state. So it's really understanding like how it was for me was like putting on a different VR headset. Like when I would think of like switching dimensions or timelines, like literally in something different, I couldn't conceptualize it. I was thinking, what is this gonna be like? Like, what would it be like? I had never experienced it. So what it was like for me was literally giving up control so much, feeling so much love and gratitude. And then it felt like my eyes, like it was like this, but I was looking out and it was something different. Like, I don't even know if I was the same person or not, but it was pretty crazy. So that was my only experience with it, and it changed my life too, because it really opened my mind to like how deep people can get into frequencies. And it's not something everybody is like up for, which is totally fine too, but you can explore a lot of things through meditation that,
So do you feel like the subconscious and frequencies go hand in hand?
Yeah. So our subconscious mind is going to have most of the emotions and programs that we inherently know, which emit a certain frequency outside of our body and through our mindset. So those are going to be like, I call it baseline frequencies, like what we're just programmed with. Yeah.
Okay. And then how can we utilize this superpower? Because from what it sounds like, it's a superpower that anybody can have if they practice it. But how does a person in business or investing, how do they translate that superpower into what they do in order to be successful?
Yeah, well, I mean, money and abundance is a frequency.
Talk that. I love it. Do it again.
Yeah, it's a frequency.
Yes.
So we have to become energetically aligned to the amount of abundance that we want or desire. And once you understand that it's just an energy exchange, then it can like really help people call more abundance into their lives. And I think too.
So money's not evil.
Huh?
Money's not evil.
Absolutely not. Okay. Are you kidding me?
That's where I was going
No,
with it.
It is absolutely not evil. It's meant for everybody. I think people who don't do work and inherently have like bad characteristics, money just exemplifies people's character.
It magnifies who they already are.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So, but you can work on your character at any point, like who you are as a person, but it's just going to be, like you said, a magnifier for who you really are innately. So if you're an amazing person, you're going to be an amazing person with money. But no, everybody should enjoy the fruits of life. Like, why not? Like, it's all out there for us to achieve and get. So I absolutely think everybody has access. It is not evil at all. It's actually amazing. And think of all the help you can do with money. You can literally do so much help, and I think it's just an amazing thing that people should aspire to. Have a better relationship with. So this is definitely a big thing people can work on. What was your question again? Before we got into is money evil?
That's really it. Just how a person could be successful by translating what they do.
Everything is a reflection of ourselves.
Success.
Everything is a reflection of ourselves. So when your vibration is higher and your frequency is higher, this translates to how we perceive money. It translates to how we're working with people. It translates into what we attract, business opportunities, better business partners, better business opportunities that are more aligned with what we truly desire, right, and that are going to make us happy and be able to really show who we are in this world, which is, I think, what everybody really wants, is find their purpose and connect with the people that align in that purpose and show that to the world. That's right. So
and a lot of people start with work, and they start with occupation, and they never start within self. And like you said, like if the frequency was higher within yourself, if you did work that muscle of yourself, you'll start attracting everything that you want out of life.
So if you have a full-time job, like I understand that, you have to pay your bills. Safety is also a huge emotion, like feeling safe. But just like start implementing a meditation practice, start implementing affirmations. You will see results from doing any of these things. Now, the degree of the result is, up to how much work you're putting in. But that's fine. Like, not everybody needs to jump to these very, very intense breakthroughs right away. Like, play with it, have fun with it, experiment. Why not? What do you have to lose? Just add it into your life and see the effect. And the main thing, too, is always validate the effect, because they're fleeting. So when you do get a result, don't be like, oh, that wasn't that. Be like, yes, I did this. Like, I got that check in the mail because I've been saying this, and I know I called this into my life. I know this business opportunity opened up. I know I got that parking space because I've been saying, whatever you're calling into your life, it could be so little. And every time you validate it, you are then creating a pattern of you manifesting the things that you want in your life. So validation of what you're doing is so important. And negative energy, like, people might be like, that's weird. Like, no, make you second guess yourself. Don't even give into that. Just also responding is an energy exchange. So if people are saying stuff like that, you don't even acknowledge it. Like,
don't give it the energy.
Don't give it the energy. Just, do your best to not give into that. And we're also I have friends, this is something I run into all the time as a woman. I will have women, every single one of my girlfriends has said, oh, all men are bad, all men suck. I don't even like saying it now because our voice is so powerful.
Yeah, words
I
are powerful.
disagree.
Word,
I
every
think
word.
men are absolutely wonderful. I have wonderful relationships with the men in my life, my friends, my dad, and what you speak is so important. And people will sometimes, because they want to be liked or they want to be cool, will engage in conversation, but they don't even realize the effect that it's having on them. Like when you engage with that to be liked, like you are not doing anything for yourself. You're not serving your highest good. I promise you, setting boundaries is so, so important. But
Everything was made with the word.
yes,
That's true.
yes, our voice can speak everything into our life.
So before we go, can you leave us with one gem, one message for the people?
Okay. Well, one, thank you so much for having me, Ace.
It
This
was
has
an honor
been
having you.
absolutely wonderful. I would say my gem is to always keep moving forward. You are absolutely not a victim in your life. Once you take ownership of your life, you take your power back, you take your life force back, you deserve to have everything that you want in this world, and you can absolutely have it. So stay strong, stay true to yourself, and it was wonderful connecting with you.
Wow, I love it. Amazing. Let's do it.
Know he a genius, he just can't claim it. Cause they left him no platforms to explain it. He frustrated, so he get faded. But deep down inside.